Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to enable the super cool Grafana dashboard. For your spacemesh node, this dashboard allows you to see your node's sync status, block height, peer count, ATX published status, and many more. I will break the steps down to 3. First is the Docker node for your spacemesh node. I use Docker for all my nodes, which makes support management much easier. The image I use is called spacemesh. Demo/spacemesh metric, which I am actively maintaining with the latest Go spacemesh version. You can find the Docker image on my GitHub page, which I will link it below this video. You can also just pull my image for your node. The most important setting for metric enabling is to add this -- metrics and metrics port option, which we will specify in our Docker Compose file. In this Docker Compose file, I also have it uploaded on my GitHub page. You need to specify the ports and add the metric port number in the environment variables. After all the Docker configuration, we can run our spacemesh node with Docker using sudo docker compose up, which I have explained in my other videos. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you find my content useful. I use the spacemesh metric image for all my nodes, so they are very up to date. For example, we have version 1.1.8 released today, but feel free to create your own image. Next, I'm going to introduce Prometheus, which is used to digest our node-generated metric data and serve to Grafana to visualize it. You first need to download the package from the link, then extract the content. In the package, you will find this YAML file that you need to further edit. Open the YAML file. You need to add a new job name under the Prometheus one. You can name it spacemesh if you want. Then add the scrape interval is static configs. In the static configs, add the targets in which you will specify the port that Prometheus should monitor. These localhost port number should match the one you specified in your Docker Compose file. And you can add as many as you want to match the number of nodes you are running and want to monitor. After done editing the YAML file for Prometheus, you can start the service by running this command pointing to that YAML file. Then you can move on to check the status of your Prometheus service by going to localhost 9090, which is the default port number for Prometheus. You can see your Prometheus service is up, along with the 2 other spacemesh metric port we defined earlier. One of the metric port is down because I just restarted the Docker node, and it takes few minutes for it to turn back to green. Now we will go to the last step, which is the Grafana part. You can follow the official guideline in terms of how to install Grafana. I just pasted the key commands here. After installing, you can start the Grafana service using the next few commands. the Grafana interface can be accessed through localhost 3000. You need to use admin for both username and password when you sign in for the first time. Then you can change your password afterwards. The next step is to add the Prometheus connection, or data source for our Grafana application. You can navigate to Connections and select Prometheus, then click Add New Data Source. Here you just type in the local host 9090 for the connection. Then you go to the bottom and click Save and Test. You should receive a success message if you've done everything right. And you should be able to see your just added data source. And we are done with this part. Last but not least is to add the actual dashboard into our Grafana service. Here I use an open source dashboard I found online, and you can find it in the link below. To import the dashboard, you just navigate to Dashboard on Grafana and click New via Import. You can copy-paste a JSON file in the box. But before that, we do need to make a few changes on the JSON file. The key change here is the data source. I need to change the original UID to localhost 9090, which points to our Prometheus service. Just search all and replace. Then copy it back to the Import JSON box. Your brand new spacemesh dashboard should show up after you click the Load button. You can play around with some of the settings, including history length and update frequency. Hopefully you find this guide useful. Happy smeshing! See you next time.